Welcome back to another session of the Roundtable. People, if you will, please pull up a chair, kick your shoes off, lay on the couch. I got something special for you this evening. I'm going to be chilling with the one and only Alvin Garrett. And for those who remember Trinity 5-7, he's the man behind who gave them that number one nominated song for the Grammy. The one and only Alvin Garrett when we come back.
You are now tuned into Urban Voice Media.
As I said in the intro, I'm going to be bringing up, sitting on the couch here at the Roundtable session, me and the guy from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Alvin Garrett.
What's up, baby?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm just so happy to be here,
got
man.
A mic problem. I don't know what's going on with the mic.
Oh, man.
Let's see. What can we do with this mic?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you at all, man. Well, guys, Alvin Garrett. Let me give you a little background on Alvin. Like I said earlier, from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Roll Tide area. You know how it is down there, right close to the Brave section of town. Mr. Garrett, he started out in church, just like most of the great singers. I think I got him coming back, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. Started out in church, behind Pop's leadership, doing his thing. I'm eager to find out how he got into actually writing some of the greatest hits for some of the stars that you and I both know. Let's ask Alvin.
Can you hear me?
Still can't hear you, brother. Still can't hear you. We're gonna get this interview though. We're gonna get this interview in. I don't know what it is, bro. Oh man, it ain't raining down in Alabama, is it? Man. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to work the bugs out of this bad boy. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to try to work the bugs out. I'm going to see what I can do to work some things on this end, see if we can get Alvin in there.
Oh, man. Can you hear me?
I don't know why you're not coming up on this end, though. What is the deal? What is the deal? Tech Crew, somebody help me out with Alvin out here. See if we got you now, Alvin.
Can you hear me now?
Still nothing.
Oh.
Man, what is the deal? What is the deal? But you can hear me loud and clear though, right?
I hear you loud and clear.
Wow. How do we fix this? Someone type in the comments, hey, how we can fix this thing.
Or if they type if they can hear me. I wonder if they can hear me.
Man, if I could read sign language, Alvin, I tell you, I will be a bad brother. I can't read it, man. Oh man. Let's see. Let's do this. I tell you what, Alvin. Just go out and just try to come back in and see if that'll boot you back in. Just try to go all the way out. Just try to leave totally. But guys, once again, I got Alvin Garrett here, the gentleman who's behind one of the greatest songs that, in my opinion, that Trinity 5-7 sung, and it was "Bring Your Praise." Bring Your Praise. And that was back in 2012 when it was a Grammy nomination. And I'm going to see if I can get Alvin to tell you a little bit more about that.
Can you hear me now?
Can we? Still can't hear you, brother. We still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Let me ask you this here. Are you on a computer or a phone?
Computer.
Try it from your phone. See if you can go from your phone. See if that'll work. But he was the writer behind. He wrote the song "Bring Your Praise" for Trinity 5-7. Also, he wrote for a gospel sensation that's hitting the charts hard now, Loud Pie. in Patiently Praising. The brother he's a phenomenal writer. He's a phenomenal bassist. That's one thing that grabbed me. He's all over the place, almost a Prince, a gospel type Prince, but he's not singing gospel. Sure, he can. His thing is that soul, hitting that heart. That's his thing, hitting that heart. Let's see if we got you now, Alvin.
Let's see here.
You still trying to plug it in? As he's still trying to plug it in, ladies and gentlemen, but he's hitting that soul. And ladies and gentlemen, I went down and did some research on Alvin, and I'm gonna tell you, some of his songs, man, going back to 2012, I was like, where you been? Where you been all my life? Man, I've been needing you for some of these relationships where I couldn't come up with the words. You had the words for me, but I couldn't say it. Let's see if we can get Alvin in on this. Can I get you in on that, Alvin?
Can you hear me?
Man, what is the deal?
How you doing, bro?
Still nothing.
What? I hear myself.
Still nothing, bro. Nothing.
It may be on your end.
How can we fix this, people? Somebody help us out.
Oh, man. Can you hear me?
All right, someone said he is coming through loud and clear. Let me do something. Let me do something. Alvin.
Yes.
You know what the problem was?
What's that?
Blame it on Urban Voice Media, man.
Was it on your end?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You go back to the computer?
Yeah. Go back to the other side, man. We good. Good.
You got me now?
But see, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you, Alvin. That's what happens when you excited about being in front of a star. You mess up. You know what I'm saying? You just do something that's just goofy. I think everybody goes through it. You know, you're gonna say something goofy, you're gonna do something goofy.
You know what we say, and you were talking about coming up in church. Anytime you have a technical problem, we blame that on the devil. You see what I'm saying? The devil messed everything up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was that technical devil.
Technical devil. Well, at least we got it figured out now, my brother.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, who typed that in for me. They said Alvin is coming through, and this is what they said. They said Alvin coming through loud and clear. Man, wasted, what was it, 8 minutes of me sitting over here playing around. But Alvin, I'm gonna go back. First, when I introduced it, I said that you had the Grammy nomination back in 2012 with Trinity 5-7. Tell me a little bit about that project, man.
Man, I worked on that with my man Fred Jerkins of Dogchild, and honestly, that was a time in my career where I was really just searching for somebody to give me a chance to get in as a writer. Honestly, just humble myself. I was out there trying to produce and submit to big major labels. But Fred Jerkins was introduced to me, took me under his wings, and I began to be sort of his right-hand man and writing, and got a Grammy nomination out of it from a song called Bring Your Praise with Trinity 5-7. Also got a Dove Award and a Stellar Award with Dietrich Haddon, and a couple of chart-topping hits with my man Fred Jerkins. So I always tell people, it ain't always how good you are, it's who you're around and your relationships that can open up doors for you. So I'm very grateful for my brother Fred Jerkins III.
So who actually introduced you to the industry?
Man, it happened in different phases. As a musician, playing bass, I would say, coming up in church, playing with a lot of conferences. But my introduction to mainstream touring happened when my good friend Ruben Studdard won American Idol. And that's when I was able to sort of get out on the road and tour around the country and really see how it's done on a major level as a bass guitarist, and sort of evolved into a musical director for him for many years. And I just learned so much being out on the road in that way. But I also got a chance to just really meet a lot of people, see how the record industry works. While I was working on my skills and talents as a writer and a producer, I was able to be exposed to it just by, again, another relationship.
Around what time period was this?
Let's say around 2003 was when Ruben Studdard won American Idol. and I was able to go on tour with him in 2004, and I mean 2003, 2004, touring with the American Idol tour as the bass guitarist. And from there, man, just kind of I saw it as a paid internship. Learned about touring, got out front and shadowed the sound man. I mean, it was so much knowledge, being a young in the industry, being able to see it on that level. And so that gave me sort of a foundation to know what I was working towards as a writer and as an artist for myself. So now as I get out on the road and do my own touring, I know so much about it because I was able to learn through proximity starting back in the early 2000s.
What was it in reference to writing, cultivating the art of playing the bass guitar? Which one came easiest for you? Was it the guitar or actually writing?
Well, I'll say I started so young playing bass. And that was at 11 years old when my dad bought me my first guitar for my birthday at the age of 11. And from there, my hands were so small I couldn't even like play it right. I had to kind of play it with two hands. And so I just grew up, and it was just something that I loved to do. Just sitting with my ear to the radio, learning and playing by ear. So I won't say that it was easy, but it was something that came naturally to me because I just dove all the way in as a young person and just continued all the way up through adulthood. And in terms of writing, I'll say I've always been sort of a lyricist. I love poetry, and I just had to learn the art of writing good songs and how to apply my natural talent to just good melodies and song structure. And that developed over the years once I really started taking it serious, around, like I say, around that same time in the early 2000s. And I got to give a shout out to my man, PJ Morton. PJ Morton is the one that actually inspired me to start taking songwriting very seriously when I was in a band with him called Freestyle Nation around that same time. And PJ Morton and I met in the gospel world, became friends, and I was in a band with him. And so just spending time with him, talking about songwriting, the process of songwriting, I will say he was and still is a mentor to me. And he being a Grammy award winning artist now, so proud of him after all these 20 years of grinding. And he's the one that told me, he said, hey, keep singing your songs till they sing them back to you. And that didn't quite seem like what I wanted to hear in the early 2000s. But now when I perform and people sing my songs melody for melody, not just word for word, but riff for riff, I go back to my roots, of my good friends saying, hey, you just keep singing your song and eventually they'll sing it back to you.
That's awesome. 2012, your debut album came out.
Yeah.
Expose Yourself.
Hmm.
Were you in, since you had dabbled with R&B with Ruben, and you did what you did with Trinity 57? Were you like, should I go gospel? Should I go R&B? Was you on the shelf with that?
I never really saw it as a struggle, as an either or choice. It was for me, music has always been music. I have a certain level of values that guide me: love, respect, hope, decency. So even in all of the R&B music that I write, there's a certain level of chivalry baked into it. So you'll never hear me desecrating women in my R&B records. You know what I'm saying? So I've always just been a man full of love and decency, and like to say I'm a gentleman. So however I approach that, and love comes from above. So there's no disconnect for me, and I think I'm free in that way because I wasn't raised to be religious. I was raised to have a relationship with God, and so I never felt any type of conviction or like I was doing something wrong to be writing songs in multiple genres. And so, long as I feel comfortable in that. And so on Expose Yourself, although that's a very sensual record, if you listen to it, it's definitely made for love making, but you can hear the tone and you can see that I'm talking to a woman, my woman, not a
I,
room full of women.
I said it earlier. I needed you some years ago. I really did. When I went and listened to some of my elders, I would listen to music.
Uh-huh.
I'd have listened to you then, Alvin. I really would.
Yeah.
And you would have helped me tremendously back then. But,
Yes. And everybody watching, go listen to the Expose Yourself and you'll see exactly what he's talking about.
behind the scenes, backstage, Alvin had asked me what song did I like, and I'm like, really? I mean, where do I start? I
Wow.
mean, I haven't listened to all the albums, but what I did listen to, and guys, I'm gonna run it down for you as to the ones that I liked, and the ones I liked was Something's Different This Time,
Mm.
My Gift to You, It Feels So Good, of course, The Likeness of Love, which is the debut he got out now, By Myself. Now, By
Mm.
Myself, that's me.
Yes.
That's a lot of us.
Mm.
Tell me about By Myself. What gave you the what made you want to sit down and do that one?
Well, honestly, man, that's I call that my life song. You know, I feel like everybody has a song or a story, and that song is my story. You know, when I decided that I wanted to really, really pursue the music business and pursue being a writer, and as I kept evolving and wanting to be more and more, I would find that rejection. You keep getting told no, or people want you to be what you already were. So, for instance, being such a great bass player, when I decided I wanted to produce and write, people would say, "Why don't you just be a bass player?" Literally. And then after becoming a great songwriter, you know, and pushing past that, I said, "Well, I want to be an artist." Like, well, why you want to be an artist? Just be a great songwriter. so, so I found it at some point frustrating that the people that I would help at one level of my life wouldn't help me get to the next one because they were so comfortable and entrenched in who I already was. And so I got to that point where I'm like, hey, if you're not gonna help me, I'm gonna go on by myself. And so that song really, really encapsulates that frustration, but that determination to say, look, I have enough in me now. I know I need help. I know I can't do this on my own, but I'm not gonna stand still. And this song is not addressed to you, what I say outsiders. It's addressed to people close to me that you expect to give you a helping hand, that you expect to open doors, you know, that you expect to partner with you, right?
Mhm.
And at first, when I wrote it, it was rooted in a determination and frustration. But as I grew into the song, what I realized is that nobody can open up my doors for me, right? Only the man above can open the doors for me, but he can introduce me to people like yourself who can help get me one step closer to my dream, you know, and find people along the way as I move forward by myself that can help me in phases. And so I stopped depending on other human beings to do something that only the universe could give to me. So it's a very powerful song, man, and it touched so many people in their own way because it spoke to that place in them that says, hey, I can do this. Even if I got to wake up and do it by myself. If the bank don't give me a loan, I'm going to save my money. You know what I'm saying? If the label won't give me a deal, I'll put out my own music. However it is, that song sums up my personality. It sums up my determination, and it connects to so many people in that way.
Albert, let's do this. Let's give the people just a sample of By Myself.
Let's
To
do
give
it.
them a little bit of what you really, really meant when you said, you know what, I'm by myself.
I've been rejected way too many times in my life. I won't take no for an answer anymore. Seems all these walls been erected, it's not my dreams, yeah. But I won't let that be a factor anymore. If you won't stand with me, if you won't go with me, I'm gonna go on by myself. If you won't fight with me, if you won't believe with me, I'm gonna walk on by myself. I've got this burning fire deep in my soul, and I can't escape.
Bruh,
Mm.
I'm telling you, Where you been all my life, bro? Gosh.
It'll do that to you, won't it?
You just don't understand, Alvin. You don't understand, man.
Mm.
So many of us been needing you, man. So many of us.
Wow.
Ah.
Man, that means a lot because I had to find peace as I waited my turn to get to this point, building this big long catalog of great music. I always had to keep it in my heart that when my time comes, people will need me. You know what I'm saying? I've always felt that just keep making this type of music because not a lot of people can. You know, a lot of people can sing, a lot of people can write, a lot of people can entertain. But there's not a lot of people with my soul, not a lot of people with my story, my conviction that could reach um, listeners the way that I do. I say it's just going to be a matter of time before I'm needed in this industry. So thank you for what you're saying. But I've been waiting a long time for my turn for people to hear me and hear my music for the purpose of inspiring and encouraging, and not just through gospel and religion, but just through that passion that's in me.
I'm gonna step on that what you just stated, gospel and religion. Um, the sound that you had in that song, you've heard it more than a million times. It's almost like your coaches were Al Green and of course Sam Cooke and
Mhm.
possibly Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Um, are those two guys or three guys that you said, you know what, I love the way they write, I love the way they sound, and you doctored yourself up under that?
Here's the most honest and transparent answer I can give you to that. Growing up, I didn't even listen as much to those gentlemen that I sound like. I listened to the bass guitar. I focused on bass guitar because that was my passion growing up. I just believe I have that spirit. And when I sang this song, it something unlocked in me. It was already there, and I didn't realize that I sounded like them. This was just my song, and then when everybody heard it, they started making the comparisons, and then I went and did a little bit more studying and saying, well, what are people hearing in me that reminds them of these iconic soul singers and figures of soul? And that's when I really started digging in and listening and seeing, okay, I do have that same spirit. I am sort of connected to them in that way. But I didn't fashion myself after them on purpose. Of course, I heard Sam Cooke and Al Green, but I also heard Marvin Gaye. I also heard Luther Vandross. So I wasn't trying to fashion myself after any singer because honestly, I didn't even see myself as a singer. It was just, you know, less than 10 years ago that I actually started working to become a professional vocalist. So and redefining myself as a vocalist. So
Come on now.
you know what?
You didn't sing no songs in the choir when you was playing the guitar?
No, sir. No, sir.
Wow.
I didn't even sing in choirs. I was the bass player, and I'm a bad boy. I'm telling you, I'm a bad boy on bass. So it took everybody by surprise that knew me when I started singing. So
And see, ladies and gentlemen, believe Alvin when he say he's a bad boy. Cause look at this right here. Mhm. Happy as he can be. Yes. And he joking around, but right here, oh, he's sweating.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That right there look like that's in church right there. Mhm. Yeah, that was in church.
You went
You know,
way back with that one.
he wasn't playing. So when he say he learned that a long time ago, yeah, he's for
Oh yeah.
real, ladies and gentlemen. The real deal, Alvin Garrett, right here at the Roundtable session. Alvin, earlier you mentioned that we mentioned that you work with Trinity 57, also Ruben Studdard, also Joe,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kelly Rowland,
Yeah.
Fantasia,
Mm.
right out of Charlotte.
Come
I'm
on.
trying to get her to do a show with me now. I gotta get that money right. You also stated Diedrich Haddon and also Jordan Knight.
Yeah, Jordan Knight and Noel Gordine and several other people. So yeah, I stayed at it and started to get a little opportunity to get recognized by my peers, and certainly Joe was one of my favorite artists to work with. Had about 4 chart-topping singles with him. I'd rather have a love, Love and Sex Part 1 and Part 2, featuring Fantasia, Kelly Rowland, song called If You Lose Her. Had a lot of album records with him as well. But he was one of those artists that I was a fan of just as a person. I'm just a fan of Joe. So, as a writer, you're like, man, if I could ever write a song for this person, I know my music would make it. And so that was kind of like a dream come true to get connected with him and to get the type of respect that I got from him as a fellow writer and artist. And a lot of people don't know this, but I talked to him one time and we didn't work together in the studio. I actually submitted all of my music through the producer that I was working with. And I met him one time in Birmingham. And he said, man, I don't know how you're doing what you're doing, but keep doing it. And I was always surprised that he never really changed any of my melodies. So I'm sitting back thinking, okay, Joe about to rip this apart. He finna tear this up. But he never changed anything. It was maybe 95% of every song I submitted to Joe was exactly how I sent it, which shocked me because I figured he would modify it. But he told me personally, he said, man, your melodies and your arrangements are so well done. I didn't want to undo anything. You know what I mean? And so for somebody like that to encourage me to keep writing and to keep doing what I'm doing and to say, I didn't want to change your stuff, that was like the greatest compliment from someone that I look up to in this music business as a vocalist and as a writer. So that's one of my favorite stories that I like to tell people.
Joe had done a cover of one of my all-time, I don't really have that many European favorite singers, but he did a cover of Adele's Hello. I would play, Alvin, I'm going to tell you, I would play his Hello, then her Hello. His Hello, then her Hello, probably for about maybe 5-6 hours while I'm working. Yeah. Wow. That's how much I loved it.
Yeah.
And when I listened to the lyrics of her songs and listen to the lyrics of your songs, you would say that, and she did a lot of her own writing as well, like you do your own writing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what? Those come once every blue moon. I ain't gonna say a lifetime because there are a lot of blue moons. Those come once in a blue moon. Those who can write and sing their own material and be great at it. And that's what you are, Alvin. You're great at what you do, my brother. You're phenomenally great. And I say this because of this right here. I brung up the cover information in reference to Joe and Adele. It's because there's a guy that goes by the name of K-E-M. Kim.
Yes.
I would love to hear Kim do a cover of your. And I only feel comfortable in saying this because you write for other people of By Myself.
Ooh.
Kim, when you see this, or the A&Rs for Kim, whoever his publicist is, ask Kim to pull. Don't ask Kim. Give Kim Alvin Garrett's By Myself and ask Kim, if he will, please do a cover of By Myself.
Ooh.
I told you backstage I was gonna save something for you at the end. We ain't at the end, but I just had to bring that out. But I'm coming back. We're gonna come back to Kim. Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna get off of Kim for a moment. All right, Alvin. As time went on, with all that's going on with Black Lives Matter, the police brutality, the injustices in the urban Black community, when George Floyd, when that tragedy happened, you wrote a song. I'm just gonna let you talk about that.
Well, the song was called Something Different This Time. And when all of that happened, of course, I had my own feelings and outrage, but that wasn't my first time, as it wasn't many Black Americans' first time feeling that same outrage every time we hear or see something happen to our fellow brothers and sisters. We feel the same outrage, but this time around, the rest of the world saw it. And so there was this collective, what's different this time? Why do y'all care this time? When you saw the commercials, you got all the emails from all these corporations, you saw a white consciousness that you never saw before. It felt like something was different this time. And for me, that began a journey to want to find out what is different. Is it because of this pandemic where we're all at that point in time running from the same virus, feeling the same fear, having the same level of humanity for the first time and I know my lifetime, maybe in history, where we're all afraid of the same thing. And so maybe it was the consciousness of human fear that allowed the rest of the world to see that differently, to slow down and see it differently. I don't know, but something was certainly different that time. And so that's what led to me expressing my feelings in that beautiful song called Something's Different This Time.
You had wrote a piece. You said after the George Floyd murder and being in a pandemic, I wrote the album called Awakening. And when I witnessed the murder of George Floyd and the aftermath, I felt the rush of sadness and disappointment, the same disappointment I've always felt when this happens. That's deep, man. That's deep. I'm gonna let the people hear just a little piece of that. Something's different this time.
You think by now we'd be through with this?
I'll sing it if you want me to. I'll sing it.
Go for it.
Oh, something's different this time. Oh, yes, it is. Something's different this time. Oh, I know there's something different this time. This time. Oh, something's different this time. Maybe it's the way the tears are falling down. They're falling a little harder this time. Yes, they are. And this time they fall from your eyes. Oh, maybe it's the way. Maybe it's the way that we all feel so breathless this time around. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is
Something's different this time. That's a wonderful piece, man. It's a wonderful piece. One thing I like about the album that you have out now, and I'm glad you did that. This album here, The Lightness of Love. The one thing I like about that album is you don't have 12 million songs on there. You have just enough songs. If it was a record, 8 on one side, 8 on the other side, we good to go. Not 32 on this side and 32 on that side.
Right.
The right amount. You took it all the way back and said, hey, we're going to give them 16 good songs and let them have it out. And actually, ladies and gentlemen, here, check out this list right here, guys. Actually, my fault, it wasn't 16, it was 11.
11, yeah.
So you talking 5 or 6 on one side, 5 on the other side. And that's an album, ladies and gentlemen. That's an album. I mean, that's an album you can say, you know what? It got to be good. It got to be good because he saved the other 88 songs for the album number this, album number this, and album number that. I don't get it, album, but I ain't here to hate on none of the artists out there. I love them all. There's something different about this time right here, though.
I think, you know what, man? When I make records, I want the listener to turn it on and let it play. Turn it on and let it play. I'm very meticulous about not only the tempo of the songs in the order they're in, but the message and the story. So when you those 11 songs, when you turn it on, it's gonna take you on a journey, and then you're gonna put it on repeat, and it's gonna take you on a journey again. But it's just to the point, is concise, and it says exactly what I want it to say about the experience I want people to have when they listen to the record. And so I take, as my own A&R, I take very seriously being true to the experience of my listeners. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll have songs that I really, really, really want people to hear, but they throw the energy off of the record or the album, and I just set it aside and say maybe some other time. So because like you say, even in this project, there were 3 or 4 concepts that I had that I was like, oh, these are great, but it just would have thrown the balance off, and so I just had to, we'll wait, for some other time. So I take that very seriously.
Do you have songs that you've written and you after you submitted them over, you're like, man, I should have kept that song?
Honestly, no. One of my mentor, Fred Jerkins, said, "Hey man, we don't get married to songs. We don't marry songs." Basically, like, don't get married to a song. Just write another one. Like, your best song is always still in you, and that's the way we have to think about it. Like, even by myself. Now, other people wanted that song, but I knew that one was for me, so I held on to that one. So if it's a song that I love that much that I feel is for me as an artist, I just won't license it to anybody. But once I let it go, I'm done with it, in a sense of it's for that artist. And even in my writing, I really focus on the artist to make sure I tailor the song and the melody so that it can become their song. You got to sing it. It's got to be authentic to you. So I study the people that I work with so that if I'm going to collaborate with them, that it doesn't sound like Alvin Garrett, but it has the Alvin Garrett DNA. And I give this example when I'm working with other artists so that they can relax and understand I'm not trying to take over. I say, hey, we here to make Kool-Aid. The song is the jug of water. You come with your Kool-Aid color. Yeah, you might be grape flavor. I might be strawberry flavor. But I'm not here to make this Kool-Aid purple. It's going to be red. It's going to look like you, but it's going to taste sweet because I'm the sugar. So when it's going to be sweet because all I'm going to do is be the sugar. You ain't got to see me. You going to taste me.
So, hey, Alvin, comedy ain't in your forte either, is it?
I got a little bit of it.
See that? Yeah, you're a preacher's son. They all got it. Y'all see everything.
That's right.
Quick question, Alvin. The quickest song you ever wrote, how quick was it?
Song called Flowers on my latest project. Flowers. And I literally sang that song on my voice recorder about 90% exactly how it is on the album.
Wow.
I literally turned on my voice recorder, sang the song out, never wrote a lyric down, just sang the song out, and then went back and tweaked it a little bit here or there. That is hands down the fastest I've ever written a song, meaning the song was just there. Mm-hmm. And that was less than 4 minutes, and I'm not making that up.
Now, this may go back into what you're saying. You have to fill out the artist, but what do you find easier to write, gospel or soul?
Equally, they're both equally. To me, they're both the same. I know the word. I know how to pull scriptures in when I need to pull scripture. But my process is the same for both. I focus on what I want to say in a song, who's my audience, so that I can connect to them with that purpose for the song, and then how I do it in terms of my production style, my melodies, and all that stuff. That's my style. But it's the same to me. When I want to write like the song Patiently Praising, my man told me that, hey, we writing songs to encourage people going through breast cancer. That was the purpose of the project. And so I just simply put myself in the mindset of a person getting some bad news about a bad diagnosis, and how would that feel? And what scripture would that person go to for encouragement in that moment? And that's the place that I wrote that song from. So I try to use empathy as a source of inspiration and creativity for me on either side. And so when I say I can't write about, you know, vulgarity and drugs, I can't write about that kind of stuff because it doesn't connect with the core of who I am. You know, I don't knock other people that do that because that's their art. But for me, if I can't empathize and put myself in the shoes of an emotion, of a person's experience, then I just won't write about it, you know. And I do have my own personal experience um in my relationship with God, so I can write from that place. And I have a relationship with love, I have a relationship with hope, I have a relationship with disappointment and fears. I embrace my emotions, and so I use the same process to write good songs about it.
Okay. March of this year, you performed at the Selma Bridge Crossing.
Mhm.
It's a annual event there in Montgomery. What was that like for you?
It was an honor, man. And what's so interesting is uh, on the 50th in 2015, when I released By Myself, that's when the movie Selma had just came out, and that was so big. And the song with Common and John Legend, Glory, was really big, and people just started hearing By Myself, and they were like, "Man, By Myself should be in the movie. It should be in the movie." And I was just too late. It was just, it was one of those songs that was just, I just missed the boat, and I didn't get a chance to perform in Selma for the bridge crossing when it was huge, you know, worldwide. You had Obama. I think Obama might have been there that year. It was just ridiculous, and I was outside looking in. And I
Hmm.
always said, man, I still feel like I'm supposed to be connected. I feel like that's a place for me. Like that's an experience I want to be a part of. And then just this year, you know, I was one of the keynote performers, had a chance to record 2 original videos for the virtual broadcast. Um, a song called It Starts in the Heart, as well as the By Myself video. And I performed for their Unity breakfast. So it was a dream come true in that it may not have been my time back then, but it was my time this year, and that was a lesson in patience and endurance. And so it wasn't just special because of what it means in the history of what we've endured to get the rights that we have today as Black Americans. It was a personal triumph for me that I was able to have music and continue to make the type of music until it was my turn to be a part of such a honored tradition.
I know that now. John Lewis, he passed before that, right?
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
Did he pass last year or the early part of this year?
I think you know what? Don't make me
Around
misquote,
January.
but yeah, but
I think around
it was
January.
before the Selma Bridge crossing for sure.
Mhm. I know that would have been real great, man, for one of the pioneers of him and you being there. I mean, still, I know you enjoyed it and it was a great thing just to be a part of it. We
Yes.
had touched early in reference to your latest project, the lightness of love, and um, it's called the lightness of love deluxe. What does that mean?
Well, this is actually the re-release of the Lightness of Love. So I released the Lightness of Love on my birthday, February 5th, and there was 7 songs. And you know, of course, that's still in sort of the height of the pandemic. So I was just doing sort of live stream concerts. Uh, and productions. So I was like, man, I really want to tour with this music. I loved it so much. I was like, I want to get on stage and get in front of human beings with this music. I didn't want to let it go. So I stayed in that same lane and just added 4 new songs and just released a deluxe version of the album and made it 11 songs. And so now I'm out touring, I'm out performing, and people are loving this music in, live, being performed live with me and my band. So I really just was like, man, let me extend this thing because I don't want to let it go until I get to perform this music.
You said that as if you were shocked. Are you shocked that people are gravitating you and loving you the way they're loving you?
You know what, man? I'll say this. I'm one of those people who spent so much time in the background making everybody else great that I didn't realize they were coming to see me.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't hear myself the way other people heard me, like
right.
because I'm me. And so I was very insecure at first as a performing artist because I've been behind so many great artists, either as a writer, as a musical director. So when it was my turn, it was I ain't gonna lie, man. I was nervous. I was judging myself, feeling like every bad note I felt I hit, I would just beat myself up. And I think a lot of people can attest to that. That I didn't quite accept myself for as good as other people felt I was. But during this pandemic, just having time to just sit, be alone, not having to carry anybody else, I was able to hear myself and fall in love with my own voice. And
Mm.
that song, Something's Different This Time, that whole album, I made it for me. At that point, I was like, I don't care who like this. I love listening to this. Lightness of Love, same thing. I was like, man, if nobody ever listens to this, I love it. I finally love how I sound. And I finally love how I'm singing. And I just relaxed. And so I'm not surprised that people love it, but I don't care. And if that makes sense,
Right,
as
right,
an artist, I don't care. Previously, as I was developing as an artist, I really cared what people
right,
thought. And it created tension and anxiety for me. So until I got to the place where I'm like, no, 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 I love this. I hope you do, but I don't care. I'm gonna sing it the same way in front of 10,000 people as I sing it in my kitchen. And
right.
that's where I am now.
That's awesome. This right here, I feel there's I don't see well so far I haven't heard one song that no one's not gonna like or love. They're gonna either like it or they're gonna either love it. Every last one of the 11 songs. And I'm not saying that because Alvin is on the roundtable session. I'm saying it because I'm a musician myself.
Oh, really?
And when you hear good music, because you said it earlier, because people always ask, what can you play? And I'm like, I play music. Music is music. You can play anything. If you're a musician, you can play anything under the sun.
Yeah.
It might not be as best as what Prince can play, but hey, you can play it.
Yeah.
So you're a musician. But Alvin, let's do this right here. Let's give the people. Let's let them actually see. Because we put that on the screen, show them what the music was. Let's let them actually see that one video.
Every time I see your face, there's something about you takes me away. Oh, your glow, you shine your every day bright, relaxing like we're in an oasis. Ooh, there's no fuss and no fight, there's no wrong, it's alright with you. So when I'm with you, girl, it feels like paradise. Oh, yeah. It's that look in your eyes lets me know. Say, girl, I know that it's love. It's the light of love. Yeah, so delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the light of love. Oh, some call it cloud nine, but I prefer to call it your presence. Oh, some say they falling in, but there's no tripping when you're in heaven. Oh, there's no fuss, no fight, no wrong, it's alright
Hey, Alvin, man,
It takes no
we're gonna stop right there on the pretty toes showing. Do you sometimes see your videos and you say, "Hey, I can't believe that's me"?
Yeah, yeah. You kind of really get taken away and get caught up in the moment, and then when you look back at it, you're like, wow, wow, like that's me, that's me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a humbling experience, man. I'm just never going to get used to this. You know what I mean? I just always want to stay humble and just just be grateful for every experience that I get doing something that I love. You know what I mean? And making music. And I think sometimes people reach a certain level of success and they start feeling entitled and they lose so much when you get to that point, man.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna get there. I'm just gonna always be grateful that I have been blessed to do this and to make videos, make music, and to have people like you listening to my music and appreciate me. So
It's great. It's great. Still, um, now I like that tempo there. That when I first heard it, I'm like, wow, I could see you on stage, either opening up or even closing.
that's the
Before
opener.
this
That's
first,
the opener.
you see what I'm saying? I can hear it. So many different people, just like I can hear. As I said earlier, I would love to hear Kim do the cover of By Myself, but I would love to see you, Maxwell,
Ooh.
and Kim, all three on stage.
Mm.
I don't care who opens, I don't care who closes. I just want to see all three of y'all.
Ooh.
And it'd be great, Alvin, if you can write a song for you. Of course, Maxwell writes, I think Kim writes as well, that all three of y'all sit down together. You see what that is?
Man,
That's magic.
you gonna hurt somebody with that one.
That's a secret garden. That's magic, man. You, Maxwell, and Kim, man, shut it down. Come on, quit playing.
Oh man, it'd just be over. It'd be
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Just call me down 911. I'm done. I'm done. I can't move.
Woo.
I can't move no more. What's wrong? I'm dramatized. I can't move.
You just put something in the atmosphere, son, in the universe. You just set something in motion. That
But no,
great.
Alba, I'm being real with you. When I first heard your music, that's what I heard. I want to see him. I want to see Maxwell. I want to see Kim. That's what I heard.
Man, that I'm saying honestly, bro, to put me in a category with those two gentlemen is just absolutely amazing because they stand their music stands the test of time. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Maxwell, of all of his music, Kim, and they are consistent and they're always giving you music time after time, year after year that never lets you down as a listener, right? Kim is never gonna make you feel like, golly, why he did that? Or Maxwell, why did he do that? They evolve, but they evolve as who they are and the experience they give you as a listener. So for you to say, hey man, I'm getting an Alvin Garrett experience and I'm comparing you and want to see you in this space with gentlemen like that, man, that's an honor. That's an honor.
Your music made me gravitate to you, and also something else that you're involved in, and that's the Danon Project.
Yeah.
Tell the viewers more about the Danon Project.
Well, the Danon Project is a workforce development agency, a social services agency that focuses primarily on reentry services and workforce development for at-risk population, youth and young adult, and adult population here in Birmingham and several other states, like South Carolina, Houston, Texas, Montgomery, Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and growing. And the Danon Project has always been supportive of my band and my music throughout the years. But when I developed a songwriting program called The Right Life, the Danon Project embraced my program and brought me in to teach it to our participants and found that my curriculum and my songwriting therapy program was just a big hit with the participants. During the pandemic, uh, the relationship just grew and strengthened, and I began to work more closely with the Danon Project, and that program, The Right Life, really, I was thinking that I was helping and changing our participants, but they were changing me. just their stories, their ability to triumph over some of the worst and most trying circumstances, and to see people go from what I call jail to jewels, to see the stories and the redemption happening right before your eyes, and to be a part of that really, really changed me and gave me um, more purpose for what I do, and to just see and learn how many people actually listen to my song. I'll tell you, I had a couple of guys like, man, I listened to your song in prison. Like I had a little radio and I would listen to by myself in prison, and that got me through. To know that somebody, associates you and your music to helping them get through a prison sentence. A couple of my participants even helped them get through some very depressing, even suicidal thoughts, listening to my music, and then to meet me in person and say, wow, I didn't even know you lived here. The Danon Project, over 8,000 people served over the past 20 years, and I'm coming on strong here now, working with the Danon Project here in Birmingham, and using my platform to just tell everybody the great work that we're doing. DanonProject.org. So this is my mission, something I get to do to give back and to influence and inspire other people who looking to get their lives on the right track. So I'm really proud to be a part of that.
That's a great honor that you have, that you're giving that back to the youth and to the community. You had said earlier in reference to someone in prison, you helped them out through your music. Alvin, I said it earlier, even though they were in behind bars and they felt, like they had they had nowhere to go and they couldn't go nowhere. I said it to you earlier. Where were you earlier? Because I needed you, because I was in a mental prison outside of the bars. And when I heard By Myself, I needed that song then. Because at that time, I felt like I was by myself. I had no one to turn to, even though I did. But I felt like on the inside, I had no one to turn to. And I felt like I was in a prison.
Wow.
So in the one video, you got two videos out with By Myself. The one video is with you. I think you were at a ball park or ball field or somewhere, and you're standing beside a gentleman, and he said he had a gun, and he had it locked and loaded, and was about to shoot it, and heard your song, and he told you, you saved him.
Woo. Man, let me tell you, like I've been through a lot, as an artist and as a independent business person, and just even with that song, like no record label would help me promote that song. Nobody would give me any money to help promote the song. But I just heard God saying, just sing the song, just sing the song. Man, I sang that song in people's backyards. I went to nursing homes, I went to schools, I went to churches. Anybody that would let me sing that song, I sang it for years. And then in 2019, I sang it that day. That was around July 4th in Jackson, Mississippi, about 4,000 people. And this one guy just ran me down. And when he told me that story that I showed on that video, I literally sat in my car and cried. And I cried the whole night because I felt like that was my reason, right? Not for Grammys, not for Billboard, none of that. His life was the reason I sang that song. And it all came crashing down, and I felt this sort of well done kind of feeling. Like, and I heard a lot of testimonies, but it was like, if I didn't sing that song, if I didn't push through, he wouldn't be here right now. And Dino, I'm sorry. Dino stays in contact with me, man. My man, he hits me on Facebook. He's always watching. He say, "Fly high, my brother. Fly high." And whenever he's feeling down, he lets me know I'm listening to your music. And he thanks me all the time for who I am and what I do. And I tell him, I said, you meant as much to me as I meant to you, because you helped me keep pushing past how difficult it is out here with this kind of music. And to know that my music saved a life, it rejuvenated me, man. It rejuvenated me to get me to this point where I can get to you. And you say, oh man, where have you been? Well, I just been pushing through, and I'm one of them dudes that get a little emotional and stuff like that. But just
that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. What label? What label are you on right now?
My own Hill Entertainment.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hill Entertainment. And if you don't mind, I'd like to tell everybody what that means. HILL, Hill. And it says, because of hope, I have the inspiration to pursue what I love at the risk of loss. You can't get on the hill if you're afraid to take an L. Hill Entertainment. You have to get on that hill, keep climbing. And so that's what it is all about. My hope inspires me to pursue what I love at the risk of loss. I can't get on the hill if I'm afraid to take an L.
How can others find you other than what's on the screen there? How can people find you?
Oh man, AlvinGarrett.com on social media. The Alvin Garrett. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The Alvin Garrett. I love to connect, and certainly on AlvinGarrett.com and with the information that you see right there. We're gonna be doing some touring. Hopefully, we'll be heading up the coast, just getting things going, getting touching a few spots. Hopefully, to have a really, really busy 2022.
How is as far as booking the shows right now? How are things working for you with the
Things are
promoters?
going, things are going well. Um, people have known me as something else for so long that
Mhm.
I'm really right now, I'll say I'm just taking a new artist approach. Even though I've been around, I'm taking a new artist approach. Just put me on stage. And I always tell people, I say, hey, just get me on the stage. Um, they're gonna get you gonna ask me to come back.
Mhm.
You're gonna ask me to come back because I'm laying it all out there, and I'm leaving it all on the stage. And so right now, man, I got a good group of guys in my band, and we just hit the road. We go where we need to go, and as promoters start taking a look, and we even book our own shows and promote our own shows. You know what I mean? I'm just one of those kind of people where I'm not gonna ever wait. I'm going by myself kind of guy. So we go into different cities. We might book a school and throw a concert for the community in a school in a small town. At the end of the day, regardless of whether anybody calls me or not, we're still going. You know what I mean? That's my philosophy.
With you on your own label, how difficult have it been for you to get the radio to start pumping your music?
Well, I'll say over the years, I've had a good team of people who helped me reach the stations that would play my music, and so I just kept going back to the ones that would play it.
Mhm.
Um, and I won't say that I've been able to get a as an artist one of those top 10 records, top 20. That hasn't happened for me yet. But
Mhm.
I've gotten into the 40s and the high 30s on Billboard, and that's due to a lot of stations in the Southeast and the Midwest that have
Mhm.
supported my music, whose listeners like to hear my music, and it all started with by myself, and just the requests started coming in. So they always say, "Man, you got another one for us?" Our people love that Alvin Garrett music, and they tell me, "He's like, man, you might be the only record in our playlist like yours." So whenever I release singles and music, it stands out because it's unique. And so I have a lot of program directors who've been very supportive simply because they want to give their listeners just that dose of inspiration and soul in the playlist that they have. So
Have you been to Charlotte yet?
matter of fact, I'm going to be in Charlotte on the 21st of November.
Come on now, write this down, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all heard it. All right,
Yeah,
Charlotte, y'all
at
heard it.
at the tavern, a spot called the Tavern. We just started putting that together this week, and looking to do a nice little run. Hopefully, Atlanta, South Carolina, Charlotte, but definitely Charlotte on the 21st of November. I'll be at the Tavern,
All right.
live and in color.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I don't know if it's a little too early or not. Maybe next in the year 2022, we can get you to come back to Charlotte under my promotion and
What?
yeah. That's the reason why I asked. Yeah. But
Come on,
I'm gonna
man.
most definitely come out on 21st and and get that pound from you, man. Got to
You,
get it.
you know what's funny? Man. I've been to Charlotte, but it was with my band. We did in 2019 before the pandemic. We did the 40th anniversary of Police Union Ball.
Mhm.
So I worked with a couple of people with the city. We've been up there for League of Cities, some other government, corporate type things with my band. So I got a few people up in Charlotte that I've seen over the years, but I'm excited to come back as an artist performing my music. So yeah, man. So okay, we gotta connect.
We're gonna do that. Most definitely. We're gonna stay in contact. Ladies and gentlemen, usually Alvin, I end the show with my outro, but there's two songs that was close to me. Also, my gift to you. That's what it is. My gift to you. That was real tight on me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play that song as we go out.
You sure you don't want me to sing it? I'm just trying to figure out why you don't want me to sing the song.
Well, hey, you got the stage, buddy.
I got the stage. Can I sing my song? All right. This is gonna be better than playing the song. You get your This is for all of you. Whatever you want, just make a list. I'll be your deliverer. Wrap it in a kiss. Whatever you need, just write it down. I'll make you happier than a kid on December 25th. You and me, we're like a holiday. Every day, you for me, you've been my everything. So this is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it, and it's my gift to you. Loving you, this is my gift to you. This is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it, and it's my gift to you. My gift is loving. Open me up. Take a look inside. I'll be your adventure girl. Pick and choose your surprise. Hold on to the packaging. It's only for your eyes. There's no need for rationing. 'Cause you got me for life. Yeah. Oh, you and me, been like a holiday. Every day, you for me, you've been my everything. So this is my gift to you. My gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it, and it is my gift to you. Love and you. This is my gift to you. This is my gift to you. Whatever you need, you can have it, and it is my gift to you. My gift is love and you. Oh yeah, Alvin Garrett. It's me. It's my gift to you. Yeah. I'm gonna give you a little bit more before we go. Listen here. Take me, here I am. Take me, in your hands. Yeah. Take me, every part. Why don't you take me? Here's my heart. This is my gift to you. Whatever, it's my gift to you. Oh, this is my gift to you. It's my gift to you, girl. Whatever you need, you can have it, and it's my gift to you. My gift is loving you. This is my gift. Oh, whatever you want, whatever you need is in me, girl. This is my gift to you. Oh, forever loving you.
That's awesome, my brother. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Alvin, November 21st. Can't wait to meet you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Until then, keep them pipes doing what they're doing, and we'll see you, brother.
My brother. Thank you so much.
Be good.